Welcome to Celebrity Tarot. We're going to get started today with our Selena and Justin Bieber reading. So we have a few people asking if I would do a couple different readings for Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. And there was just like so many times where I'm like, I just do not want to remix this. I really don't want to like put them back in their past, and I don't want to, relive this again. But you know what? Let's just go ahead and find out if they're going to get back together or not. So we're going to find out the reason for the breakup. We're going to find out, some of the things that led up to it, and, ultimately just how they currently feel about each other, as well as any current feelings that could make them possibly reunite or get back together, even though Justin Bieber is married and in a relationship. And I believe that, Selena has very much moved on also. And in my last reading, it is basically said at the ending that Justin Bieber would reunite, but it was Selena actually who wouldn't. So we'll see what this reading actually says. So I promised I would do an update here. And this is for Sprinkle of Life. Thank you for your request. And a few others requested this also, but just that's one of my subscribers. And thank you for all your requests that you put in. Okay, so let's get into this. We're going to find out first, astrology-wise, birth chart. Justin Bieber, born in London, Ontario, Canada, March 1st, 94 at 12:56 a.m. He's a Canadian pop musician. We all know who he is. He is in the United States. He does his things here. He's a singer. I think he's been in a few acting gigs. I'm not quite even sure, but most importantly, sun sign, Pisces, moon sign, Libra. Ascension is a Scorpio. So let's find out Miss Selena. Oh God, he is ascending Scorpio. Gosh, well, that makes a ton of sense. Okay. She's an Aries, it looks like. Let's find out. Aries, sun sign, Sagittarius, moon sign. Aquarius is her rising. Okay. All right. So she's an actress, singer. She does a lot of things also. I just want to get straight into this reading because I'm very nervous about it, because I don't need any of the believers to come after me, and I don't need any of the Selena Gomez lovers to come after me either. So this is, put your pitchforks away, please. Don't come for me. Okay. All right, I'm going to pull two oracles, just kind of get an overall energy vibe of the situation, and I will confirm with my tarot. Sorry, my ears are plugged up. I don't know. I can't even hear. I'm like, I can't hear me. So again, the oracle will confirm tarot. Tarot will confirm oracle, and we're going to get started. All right. All right, let's find out. Well, that was quick. Okay, so the energy surrounding the breakup, the situation, the back and, going back and then, breaking up again, and the on and off, all of it leading up into his marriage, leading up into her, not really speaking about it, just leading into everything, the emotion, the fire, the love, the intensity, however this relationship went. It was surrounded in conflict. There was a lot of strength in this relationship, but don't let the strength between the two of them really fool you, because there was a lot of chaos within this relationship. There was a lot of drama. A lot of damage was done between the two of them. It just kind of took them into a place almost like backtracking. So this it was like a new beginning, and it was, all this strength and this fire, and, but it just it just backtracked them. Every time they would try, it would just backtrack them. So, I mean, it was very quick and intense, really. And there was, again, a lot of chaos and conflict, and that's a lot to do with because of their youthness. They're very young, and so they were learning with each other. And, sometimes we have to do things about relationships like that, and that has to happen immediately. And that is exactly what happened here from where I can see it. Okay. And as far as this relationship, there was just like a lot of, love lost. And I think they're still currently vibing that situation. All right. We're going to find out the reason for the breakup on her end and his end. Got her 6 of Swords. That is in reverse. Okay. So for her, it was okay. So for her, there was some loyalty issues. So he Page of Cups in reverse. He was not as loyal or as trustworthy in the relationship, and that had a lot to do with the breakup. Okay. And as far as this card goes, it was almost like he was very much trying, he was very much learning, he was in the process of really learning how to deal with any kind of feeling or connection or creating, something that goes back and forth with a fluid flow. It was youthful. Again, they were very much young and they were under the age of 30. So again, the balance, him trying to find a balance and learn how to do these things really came to a sacrifice when it come to, like the heart of Selena, because then, there was damage done to her. So for her, she wasn't moving quick enough. There wasn't a lot of movement coming from her. And he felt as if like, it was almost like the memories he had with her were more important than the actual relationship itself, if that makes sense. So there wasn't a lot of energy movement, probably not enough for him anyway. He wanted it to be faster. He wanted it to be slower. He wanted it to be however he wanted it to be. But again, they had a lot of memories together. So it was something that was very hard for him to, kind of like look away from, if that makes sense. 8 of Swords, and that is in reverse. Judgment. Okay, so again, there appears to be some sort of judgment situation, legal situation, some sort of action that was being made, and it was, that was probably very scary. But that was another reason for the breakup, because of this legal stuff. Somebody being judged harshly, or somebody not being judged accordingly. I don't know what word I'm looking for. I'm looking for a word, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. He literally, there was some sort of court situation, some sort of legality. Okay. And it just felt like, that was already consuming enough, the loyalty and, him really trying to learn how to be a good boyfriend. But then here comes, some sort of legality thing. Going over on his stuff, his anxiety very much was a part of this also. So the anxiety really changed things. Some sort of anxiety with this 8 of Swords in reverse. It just indicates to me lots and lots of change, but it was lagging energy. So there was something going on as far as anxiety, something going on the inside, the nervous system. Something was affecting him. Okay. And it probably had nothing to do with like what he was thinking in his mind, but it had something to do with him physically, and it was affecting, manifesting, coming on out, kind of affecting that relationship. Okay. All right. Let's find out, how did they feel with each other at the end of this relationship? Let's find that out. Okay. So we have our Knight of Cups, that's in reverse, 9 of Wands, and that is also in reverse. So by the ending of this, she was fearful. She had a lot of fear that was put into this relationship. The fear here, though, was the mere fact that she felt like she was almost to a point where she, could get out of the meaningless, the unpredictableness, the pulling back, the back and forth. She felt like she was almost there, but she had a lot of fear around it. So ending the relationship, or getting to an almost ending, felt kind of like, almost like this could be an accomplishment. This could be, sufficient enough, and I could be content with this and kind of withdraw. But it's almost like there was so much fear wrapped around, and almost, she almost ended it and she almost kept it. So there was a lot of fear going in or going back or going in. It didn't matter. She had so much fear when it comes to this, because of, again, she just felt as if it was just, jumping the gun, or, like a little bit out of the swords, if that makes sense. She just was not interested in something feeling unstable to her. This felt very unstable to her. She felt as if, she had the willpower to hold in the relationship, and she just didn't. For him, now, he loves love, but that can become excessive, and it feels excessive when you have no limits. So this Knight of Cups in reverse is just indicating to me that this is Justin Bieber. This is the ultimate description of him. Somebody who has no limits, somebody who is not able to stay within, fine lines that keep you nice and safe. He was not able to do that for himself. So he really got into some excessive things, as far as anything here. He was disengaging. He very much disengaged, and he lacked expression for the relationship. So he didn't even really care, or he was putting that out there. He was putting that energy out there that he didn't give a shit. And he, as far as he was concerned, he was out of it. He was out of it. He was withdrawn. Okay. Does that mean that he didn't care? No, it was just where his mind was at the time, because again, he was, bending boundaries. He was, hitting limits, and he wasn't listening to those limits. So he was, he's fucking up. He was fucking up. He was drinking. He was doing drugs, or, he was racing cars, whatever the fuck he was doing. He was doing crazy stuff, and he wasn't supposed to be doing crazy stuff because that's unsafe. So there were some things he was doing that was unsafe, and that could have been a push, the hurt manifesting out. And it was in the outer situation, and y'all saw it. We all saw it. Okay, let's find out here what the current feelings of the two of them are as of right now, no matter where they are within their lives for Selena and Justin. Kind of finding out the universe can tell us on current feelings. Getting into a place where we can find out if they're going to have a remix or not, get into a place to see if they're going to, get back into this relationship ever. Okay. Okay. So we got the High Priestess, that's in reverse, the Empress, as well as Two of Pentacles, that's upright, and the Temperance, and that is also in reverse. So there's a lot of healing going on her end, and she's really trying to create a balance with her body physically. This Two of Pentacles is just screaming, trying to find some sort of cooperation within my body, just trying to be in a really good space physically. Like she started out, with a bang, like just starting out fresh with something physical, probably that surgery that she had. But she is always trying to remain balanced within herself physically. And as far as stability, I mean, that's super important here. And her healing is very important. The balance in her life is actually life altering if it tips over a little bit, because again, she's living with, I believe, lupus. Do not quote me, but I think that that's what that was said. And she had a transplant also. Kidney, I think. Do not quote me. Just know that she is physically dealing with something. So it's funny. It's funny that this Temperance and the Pentacles too kind of came up, because yes, if she is off balance at all, she will pay for it. She will suffer. Her body will hurt. It will not be good. And we would definitely see it. Justin Bieber, on the other end, he is just hanging out. He is very much in his intuition. He's very much into his inner voice. He's very much dealing with somebody who's very nurturing. He has somebody around him who's kind of like a mother. So it's almost like there's a sensual, nurturing type who is around him. So there's a lot of that energy around him. And that's probably more or less his wife. She's like, hey, she's making an appearance. She's like, no Justin Bieber reading without me showing up. Hello. Anyway, sorry. So he's very open. He has a very open and fluid, love back and forth heart thing going on. And he's way more thriving than he used to be. But again, nothing's perfect, obviously, but it's just kind of indicating, some of this energy that is around them. And there is baby making happening, probably most likely, as far as, physicality and, getting into, the whole mother father thing. Hopefully that's, where they're headed, but there is some baby, they're trying to make babies. And she's very nurturing. She's very motherly. So she would not be a bad mom to have. Let's find out, will these two ever end up back together? Will there ever be a rebirth of, we got Two of Swords in reverse. Woo! All right. Four of Pentacles, that's also in reverse. So, well, the stability would be lacking if she were to involve herself again in this relationship. The control that she has over her health is super important, and it's something that she doesn't even actually have. So it's it is definitely in reverse, because she doesn't actually have control of her physical health or, the balance within it. But she tries damn hard to maintain some sort of sanity within her body function. But if she were to get back into this relationship, it's no so far on her end, because this would bring a lot of instability to her physically, because whatever happens to her heart manifests and it fucks up her body. So when she gets sick or heartbroken, it wreaks havoc on her body. Same thing over here. Again, he knows that like involving himself back into this relationship would bring way too much instability. So it's the same thing over here. And especially with the conflict, he knows that there would be aggression, conflict, it would ensue more chaos, but he's definitely knows that the recuperation is super important in his life, because he kind of keeps recuperating from things. And that is something that he just is not able to come back from. So this is something that he knows would bring a lot of confusion and a lot of cold energy. So it's going to be a no for both of them. Let's find out a likely outcome for the two of these people. I got all sad. I don't know why. It's like, I don't even care, but I really just got sad. I just got very sad about the situation. Okay, so likely outcome or likely movement with the two of these is that she is trying for a baby also. So she's wanting a baby. She wants to be a mother. She definitely wants to bring about her family or have a family. These are things that she definitely thought about with Justin Bieber at the time when she was with him. But now this is a likely outcome for her, is to get into a family, get into, having her own baby and getting into a place where she can find change and growth and really get into a healthy space, loving, connection, fluid, all of the good stuff. Ace of Swords over here in reverse. Likely outcome for Justin Bieber is just really trying to find some sort of understanding within life. He lacks an understanding, but he's definitely wanting to get into a place where it's almost like he wants a new beginning for his mind. He wants to start new. He wants to get into rational thinking, logical, smart moves, everything. He wants to be intuitive and just in touch with himself. So hopefully, leveling up spiritually, if that makes sense also. Hopefully that helps. I definitely wish that they had thoughts or plans to get back together, but I'm happy for Bieber and his wife, Haley, and I'm happy for her. I hope that she has millions of babies and lives to be 90. So I think that this reading went really well. If you have any questions or comments about this reading or any requests for Celebrity Tarot, please go ahead and leave a comment or go check out any of the social media in the description box. Also, if you would, please share, like, and follow on all of your social media, as well as hit subscribe. You know it. You know the game. Go ahead and click that bell so you do not miss any of these lives or uploads of celebrity readings, general predictions, or love predictions. Other than that, if that sounds good to you, hit that bell. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. See ya.